Hello and welcome to this mindfulness video on behalf of the Stuart Low Trust. My name is Katie, thank you for joining me today. So today we are going to be talking about the link between mindfulness and play and creativity. So mindfulness is again just being in the present moment without judgment, or to put it another way, putting the mind where the body is. So we're not distracted by the past or the future, we are focusing on what's in front of us basically. So there are a lot of benefits of mindfulness, and there are also a lot of benefits of expressing ourselves through creativity. And this is something that the Stuart Low Trust also does. Apart from mindfulness workshops, they also have creative workshops, art workshops, where people can find ways to express themselves. And this is very beneficial for our mental and physical health, being able to do that. And so combining mindfulness and creativity is even more beneficial. So we tend, as adults, we tend to kind of lose touch with the creative parts of ourselves. When we get older, we tend to forget how to play sometimes, which obviously comes very naturally to children. Everything's a bit of a game, and you know, it's only when we get older that we start to take life very seriously. And the more seriously we take life, you can see my furrowed brow here, the more stressed we become. So being playful, being creative can really help to relieve our stress as well. And a lot of us, I think, when we get older, have this idea that we're not very good at art, or we're not very creative people, we can't do it, so we don't bother. And I think that actually all of us have that creative spark inside us. It's just that we've kind of forgotten how to express that part of ourselves, which is a bit of a shame, really. So today we are actually going to be trying a mindful kind of doodling exercise. If you want to play that with me, you're very welcome. So you might need a pen and a piece of paper. If you've got coloured pens or pencils, even better, but if you haven't, just a pen and a piece of paper will be fine. So we're going to be doing that a little bit later. So I just wanted to talk about how that kind of we develop this inhibition around playing and creativity as we get older, and we may have been told at school that I wasn't really good enough at art to kind of take it up as any career, so it wasn't really worth me pursuing, which again is a shame, because actually when I left school I started to pursue quite artistic hobbies that I just enjoyed for their own sake. Certainly didn't make any money out of them, but it was a joy to me to be able to express myself creatively in whichever way that I wanted to. And I think that's important. So kind of getting out of our own way and letting go of those ideas that we're not good at something can really help us to just express those things. And it might not be that we show these things to other people. It could just be that we do it for ourselves, which is fine. And also when we are in that artistic space, creative space, it can be like in a state of flow where we're not kind of tense and rigid and we can't see the wood for the trees. It's really conducive to letting go, that kind of creative space. And being creative, it doesn't have to mean art or music or poetry. It could mean cooking, it could mean gardening, or even just kind of a creative problem-solving approach. And there's a joy, I think, in creating something unique, as unique as you are or as I am. So just doing it for its own sake can be very rewarding. And if it helps us to connect with other people, that can be a very rewarding experience as well. So just going back to what we were talking about being in that state of flow and not feeling inhibited and stuck. There's a story about Salvador Dali, the artist, who used to get his best artistic ideas in the state between sleep and waking. And that part of that is because that state, in that state we kind of switch off that kind of self-talk where we're saying, oh, we can't do this, or our logical mind might get in the way a bit. So what he used to do, rumour has it, is that he used to sleep in a chair holding a teaspoon, and he used to have a saucer on the floor. So the idea was that every time he started to fall asleep, the spoon would drop onto the saucer, make a nice clatter, wake him up, and he would be in a state of creative flow, and that was when he would have his best artistic ideas. And meditation can actually help us to access that state as well, to being in mindfulness meditation. I've got a story actually that illustrates how we can kind of get out of our own way and let go into that artistic and creative flow. A woodcarver called Ching had just finished work on a bell frame. Everyone who saw it marvelled, for it was a work of great beauty. When the Duke of Lewes saw it, he asked, "What sort of genius is yours that you could make such a thing?" The woodcarver replied, "Sire, I am only a simple workman. I am no genius. But there is one thing. When I am going to make a bell frame, I meditate for 3 days to calm my mind. When I have done this, I think no more about rewards or money. When I have meditated for 5 days, I no longer think of praise or blame, skillfulness or awkwardness. Only my skill remains. Having set myself aside, nature meets nature in the work that is performed through me. This, is no doubt, is the reason why everyone says the finished product is a work of great beauty." So that is a story by Anthony de Mello, and I think it illustrates nicely. I'm not suggesting that people meditate for 5 days before they do any artwork, but just how we can kind of let go of those parts of ourselves that are getting in the way. And as a Buddhist would call them attachments, so attachments to other people's opinions or our own judgments, getting something from it like money or rewards that he mentioned, and just allowing it to flow through us. And there's another quote that I like. It's said a world famous violinist about his success in playing: "I have splendid music, a splendid violin, and a splendid bow. All I need to do is bring them together and get out of the way." Easier said than done, but something to keep in mind. So I hope that you will join me in my doodling, and I hope that we can let go of any of the things that get in our way of playing and being creative. So go and grab a pen or some pens or pencil and some paper, and I will see you shortly. So welcome back. Here I am with my colour pencils and my plain paper, but you can use whatever you want. You can just use a plain pen or whatever you have to hand, really. So like anything to do with mindfulness, this is really about the attention that we give it, not about the results or any attachments we have to the outcome, just about being in the moment and enjoying the present moment as well. So I'm just going to doodle, and you can join me. You can just do whatever you like, really. You can copy what I'm doing, but I would encourage you just to see what pops into your head. without censoring it or, you know, getting in your own way, as we've talked about. Just play. Just see what happens. Okay. So I'm going to start. I think this is a nice red colour. I feel the need to do a heart in the middle. Just enjoying the feeling of the contact and between the pencil and the paper, actually. The sound of it, which you might not be able to hear, but hopefully when you do it at home, you will be able to hear it. I'm going to shade that in just because I feel like it. Just becoming absorbed in the present moment. Noticing when your mind wanders, just bring it back to focus on what you're doing and what's in front of you right now. I'm going to try a different colour. Maybe green. I find that my doodles are often kind of squiggly, a bit like this. See if you can do it without thinking about it. Like the art is being done through you. And don't worry about being consistent. Try and notice any judgmental thoughts that you have about your abilities or what you are working on or playing with. Sometimes I also have the urge to do a more kind of rigid shape like this. Like to do boxes. Go on forever. If you do come into contact with any children, if you have children of your own or you know children who you can spend time with doing artwork, it can be quite liberating and quite joyful. I remember when my niece was younger, she used to like making things and doing artistic things, and I really rediscovered that part of myself through her. So it's good to be able to rediscover those parts of ourselves. We all have creative parts of ourselves. Some yellow. This is not a uniform pattern at all, is it? But it doesn't matter. It's whatever popped into my head and through my fingers. And sometimes whatever we produce in kind of artistic way can be an expression or a reflection of what we're feeling inside. And sometimes when we find it difficult to communicate, by talking, it can be quite liberating to be able to do that through creativity. Sometimes we can't put what we're feeling into words. It's easier to express it through colour or shapes or whatever it is. So again, when your mind wanders, just bringing it gently back. Listen to the sound of the pencils or the pens. Just taking a moment to appreciate that you have created something that wasn't there before. Something unique. Unique to you. And I'm noticing that I have some judgmental thoughts about what I've created. I'm thinking, I should have made it more symmetrical, a bit more even would be more satisfying. So I'm just noticing those thoughts. And that is my 10-minute doodle for today. So I would encourage you just to keep going. Find a way to express yourself creatively if you can, and bring your attention fully to it, letting go of whatever comes up that isn't what you're doing. And remember to have fun and play with it. I'm going to finish on a quote by Alan Watts. He said, "When we dance, the journey itself is the point. as when we play music, the playing itself is the point. And exactly the same thing is true in meditation. Meditation is the discovery that the point of life is always arrived at in the present moment. Thank you for joining me today. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and the Stuart Low Trust YouTube channel, and also to check out their website slt.org.uk. Thanks very much and have fun.